Hello students, welcome back to NEET World channel. This is Narayani, I am your botany educator. So in previous class we completed one of the very important topic, that is various functions of the essential nutrients of both micro and macro, right? So let's dive into the topic of today's students. So here today's topic are also very important for your MCET point of view. And then we will go into the topic of IPE question, that is very important for your IPE boards. Okay. So before I am starting up the class, students, I would like to inform very important news for all of you. So here we have started the NEET special program, especially for the 11th and 12th students. So who are going to the colleges, this is the best opportunity for you. If you really want to become a doctor, if you are really passionate about your dream, so we are providing this course for just Rs 3,333 per month. Yes. What are the benefits by enrolling this course? So you will get live plus recording sessions along with well-crafted study material is also provided. If you are really determined and passionate, if you go through all our live plus recording sessions as per your convenience, if you do our well-crafted study materials, far more enough to secure good rank in your upcoming examination for sure. So the basic concepts are also available in YouTube session, students. So you can go through that. Also. For 11th and 12th students, and also who are completed the 12th and looking for the long-term course, so it is also best program for them. Got it, students? Because it is provide both very affordable price of Rs just 3,333 per month. If you are looking for offline, we have hostel facility also, students. You can come to our institute name called NEET World, present in Narayani Ma'am, Hyderabad. Those who want to join online, you can contact by this number. So we will give you all the information about our institute. So limited offer, students, grab this opportunity. And one more important news here is all of you. This is our Telegram group channel, students. By scanning this QR code, you can access our Telegram channel. So you will get daily mocks of biology, chemistry, physics and also mathematics. For any competitive examinations, doing mocks is very important for all of you. So how much you do the mocks, that much you boosted up your confidence, and that you can, you will get confidence to crack the examination. So and also live classes pre-informing in this Telegram channel, students, and whatever the handwritten notes as visualized materials will be dropped in this Telegram channel. And one most important thing is, if you have any doubts of concerned lecturer, you can post directly that question by tagging that lecturer, so they will clear you all your doubts. So don't forget to join in this Telegram channel, students. So let's dive into the today's topic. So we discussed very important various essential elements, right? We discussed all about this, and this handwritten notes also will be there in your Telegram group, students. So thereby you can study all these handwritten notes. It's purely NCERT based notes, students. It is quite helpful for your examination for sure, for MCET people. Now see, students, let's solve some question. Here we solve one of the important question, right? So let's solve this question. So here is the given question. The mineral elements required for carbohydrate translocation. Carbohydrate translocation. Here they given the mineral element that essential for the carbohydrate translocation. Carbohydrate translocation. What are the by the photosynthesis, whatever the food is prepared in the superficial layers of the leaves, that will be translocated to all of the parts of the plant, right? So which mineral element is helping, they are asking. And for the photolysis of water also, splitting of water also, and then chlorophyll synthesis, They are also given three main important the process happening in the plant, right? Carbohydrate translocation. It will be done by the boron, element of microelement boron. It is a micro element. Photolysis of water. So splitting of water, photolysis of water will be done by the manganese as well as chlorine. Manganese as well as chlorine. Here it is a given steam. See the first carbohydrate translocation, when it is the carbohydrate metabolism, involvement element is the boron, that we know. So by that we can easily eliminate the C option and also D option right here. Now see the A option. This the boron 2 are there. So the first concept, process carbohydrate translocation is by the boron. Now see, photolysis of water is manganese and chlorine. Manganese and chlorine. Here it is given manganese, here it is given chlorine. So what else next we have to focus? That is chlorophyll synthesis. Chlorophyll synthesis. So if this question which we have to select as an option. Chlorophyll synthesis. Here it is given as zinc and iron. We all know that for chlorophyll synthesis, magnesium takes part very important role, right? Along with the magnesium, the iron part is also will be the important element. After the magnesium in the chlorophyll synthesis, which is going to play very important role, students, that is iron. That is why here is the answer of boron, chlorine and iron. Got it? So we have to analyze a few more. When we are doing the MSET bits, you get to know more about how to analyze the question easily hereafter. Got it? Now see the question. So let's see. These are very important tables, students. So here is given symptoms, deficient elements and deficiency of disease. So on which elements deficiencies causes the which symptoms and which disease it is causing. So some of you are already studied it, students. So when we are going to the topic of micro and micronutrients, let's once more skim this topic. Yellowing of veins due to loss of chlorophyll. Yellowing of veins and due to loss of chlorophyll by the main element called magnesium. By the main element of magnesium. Along with that, nitrogen, potassium, sulfur, iron, manganese, zinc and also molybdenum. Okay. So that deficiency of disease name is chlorosis. So death tissue of leaf. The death tissue of leaves caused by the element named calcium, magnesium, copper and potassium. You have to remember for sure. This table is very important, students. So the disease, the deficiency of disease is necrosis. The deficiency of disease is necrosis. Now see this, less height of the plant. There is a retardation of the growth of the plant by the element called iron and potassium. Iron and potassium. Here it shows the stunted plant growth, which means reducing of the plant growth. Now see, falling of leaves and buds. So the young leaves and all buds are falling because of the deficiency of potassium, magnesium and copper. Potassium, magnesium and copper. This is the disease called premature fall of leaves and buds. Next, last one, less elongation in stem. There is no elongation is happening in between the internodes, right? So low levels of nitrogen, potassium, sulfur and also molybdenum. Here is the inhibition of cell division. There is no happening of the cell division there. Got it? So the primary elements required for the plants is, primary minerals required for the plants is NPK, nitrogen, phosphorus, potassium. So as they are given as the fertilizers also in the agriculture fields. Got it? Now see, here some of the disease caused by plants are given below. By the deficiency of zinc, the disease is molten lead, and with copper, dieback in the mainly plants of citrus plants, which means lemon. In those plants, they are seeing of the deficiency of copper. There is a seeing of dieback disease. and boron. Boron is a heart rot disease seen in the beet. Okay. Now see molybdenum. So molybdenum is a mainly consists of involved in the nitrogen metabolism, right? Fixation of nitrogen, right? So there is a disease name called whiptail in the cauliflower. And chlorine. When there is a deficiency of chlorine, there is a disease caused bronzing in the plants of legume plants like pea plant, groundnut plant, those plants. And nickel. Nickel, if the nickel element is lower in amount, which means the deficiency occurs by this nickel, there is a cause of mouse ear in the pecan plant. Got it? So this is the must and should table, students. You have to be follow and you have to memorize for sure. Along with the various diverse functions of the micro and micro elements, you have to focus this table also for sure. Got it? Let's see the topic. So here is the mechanism absorption of elements. So see, all these elements absorption happens by the roots, that we know, right? So how it is carried exactly by the roots? The roots absorbing into its isolated cells, which means whatever the absorbed nutrients will be there, it will be take up to the tissue level and to the cellular level, right? So that is by absorption of elements by plants carried out in isolated cells, tissues and organs. The process of absorption is the first phase and also in the second phase. There are two phases of absorption of these elements. So the first phase, rapid uptake of ions into free space. Rapid uptake of ions into free space or outer space of cells, that is apoplast. That is apoplast. See this. This is the apoplastic pathway through cell wall. So here it is the cell wall. So the absorption happening through the cell wall. Through the cell wall. So this pathway is called apoplastic pathway. It is passive, which means there is no requirement of, actually the passive movement is nothing but diffusion, right? So there is no expenditure of energy, right? So it is usually occurs through ion channels and transmembrane proteins and function as selective pores also. Selective pores also. And another important pathway is also there, students, that is symplastic pathway. It is happens through cytoplasm, which means the passes of ions, the elements absorption happens through the cytoplasm, like this. There is no involvement of it is not traveling through the cell wall. Got it? So here is the second phase. See, ions are taken slowly into the inner space through the cytoplasm. That is nothing but symplastic pathway. For this symplastic pathway, entry and exit of ions requires energy, which means active process, which means the symplastic pathway needs energy. It occurs by the active process, which means they need the energy. They need the energy. They need the ATP to transport the elements, right? So for the first phase, it is occurs by through the apoplastic pathway, which means the absorption happens through the cell wall or plasmodesmata, right? But here it is a Casparian strip. When there is a Casparian strip, is there. So this apoplastic pathway, again it follows the symplastic pathway. Then you will know very clearly in the transport in plant, students. While explaining that, I will explain you. So now here itself there is a two phases. One is the freely passes, that is passive process. There is no requirement of any energy. That process name as apoplastic pathway. That is the free ions. It occurs through the ion channels, transmembrane proteins and functions as selective pores. Coming to the second phase, it needs energy, which means the symplastic pathway. The pathway occurs through the cytoplasm. The pathway of absorption of elements occurs through the cytoplasm. But entry and exit of these ions require the energy, which means active process, which means it requires the active process. And the hypoplastic pathway does not require energy. It is a passive process. It is a passive process. Got it, students? What we call the inward movement of ions, right? The inward movement of ions we call it as flux. In plants, the movement of ions, the inward movement of ions which enter into the plants, that we call it as flux. The inward movement of ions we call it as flux. So, inward movement, see, the inward movement is influx and outward movement is called efflux. If the ions are going out from the cell, we call it as efflux. So, if they are coming inside, they are influx. Inside, efflux, exit. Okay, got it? Remember like that. The movement of ions is flux. Got it? Now see the translocation of solutes. Translocation of solutes. So, what is the translocation of solutes? Which means, see, the part where the prepares the food, students, that is at the top of the superficial layers, right? So, whatever the food is prepared in the leaves, that will be present only in the leaves. No, it will be translocated, it will be transferred. What is meant by translocated, students? It is a transfer. Whatever the prepared food is there, that will be transported all over the parts of the plant. Here they are saying translocation of solutes. Translocation of solutes. See, mineral salts translocated through xylem. So, whatever the minerals present inside the soil, that will be absorbed by the roots, right? How those minerals can get into the roots, students? With the water. So, when the water combines with minerals, that is called, then the water is called solutes, right? Which the water containing the some of the minerals, that is why it is a solute. So, translocated, how they are getting into the roots? Through the vascular tissue called xylem, by the ascending ascending way from water. See, ascending way. See, they are, what is meant by ascending, students? That is from the low to higher, from low to higher. So, if it is the plant, so here is the low, here is the higher parts. So, the transfer of ascending way, which means the transfer of water, when it is when they are the mineral solutes which are absorbed by the water, okay, that will be transported to the ascending way, from the lower to the higher, from the lower to the higher. So, from the ascending, pulled up through the transpiration pull, pulled up through the transpiration pull. So, when the photosynthesis is happening, students, what will happen? When there is happening of photosynthesis, so there is a requirement of carbon dioxide, water and also sunlight, chlorophyll pigment. So, the plants take water from the soil now. So, water taken from the soil. While taking from the soil, what will happen? So, it continuously taking the water. So, in the stomata, the exchange of gases and the transpiration will also happen. Transpiration will also happen. So, water in the plants will be transferred as vapor out, right? So, here the continuously the the movement of water from the lower to the higher by the transpiration pull against the gravitational force. The movement of water from against the gravitational force is happening. That is nothing but the transpiration pull or ascent of sap. Here is the water is continuously going out from the leaf, right? So, students, out of 100% observation of water, water from the roots to by the plant, only 1% should be utilized. Another 99% will be sent out through the transpiration process, which means continuously happening transfer of water is happening. Got it? That only 1% is utilizing by the plants and it is preparing the photosynthesis. Got it? So, by the pulled up of water through the transpiration pull. So, by analyzing this, so how you know that minerals are also transporting from the water? So, by the experiments, some radioisotopes are used to know that actually the minerals are transporting through the roots or not by the xylem tissue. We all know that water is transported through xylem and the food is by phloem, right? So, is it really or not? So, some scientists what they did, they made the radioisotopes are used. So, they are identified that mineral elements are traveling in a xylem sac. When they are using the radioisotopes, then there is a appearing of the minerals in it. So, that is the confirmation that if from the roots the minerals also the transpiration pull, the plant is utilizing it. Got it? So, next one, soil is the reservoir of essential elements. Reservoir elements. What is meant by reservoir? It is a pool. What is meant by pool? It is a full of requirement. Whatever the essential elements are, plant is getting from the soil only. That is why soil has a reservoir for essential elements. Essential elements. Majority of nutrients are present in the soil due to weathering. So, most of the, we all know that out of 105 elements are discovered, the plant mostly required the 22 elements for sure. So, is that 22 elements are we are providing? No. So, how they are getting? By the weathering process. Due to the, before a billion of years ago, the rocks are present in the soil due to the weathering, which means weathering means breakdown of the rocks. They have the minerals. Through that minerals are also present under the soil, the plants are absorbing the nutrients. Got it? So, majority of nutrients present in the soil due to weathering and breakdown of rocks. So, enrich the soil and dissolved ions into organic salts. When the water is having the plant, the nutrients they are dissolving in the water and the plant is getting. Got it? So, which means inorganic salts by the by the weathering, which means the breakdown of rocks, whatever the minerals are present in the under the soil. When the water is available, the water is absorbing these inorganic salts that will be absorbed by the plants. Got it? So, now see, some have derived from the rock minerals. Role in the plant in nutrition is mineral nutrition. So, some nutrients are required by the plants from the rock elements, that is why we are calling as the mineral nutrition also. Got it? So, it is a vast variety of substances are present, not only the minerals but also many nitrogen fixing bacteria also is there. Not only there is the rocks by getting the minerals also, there is also microbes is also present. What is the role of the microbes? They are fixing the nitrogen. So, is the nitrogen is element required for plant? Isn't it? Of course, they are very essential because they are to produce the proteins, amino acids, right? By want to make the nucleic acids, the required element is nitrogen. But the plants, animals do have that mechanism? No, they don't. We don't have that mechanism. But the microbes do have that mechanism. So, in the soil that microbes also present. So, that supplies the roots the nitrogen. Got it? So, a deficiency of minerals affect the crop field. So, deficiency of these minerals also affect the plants for sure. That is why we are supplying the fertilizers as the external supply to the crop fields. So, we mainly gives the nitrogen, potassium and sulfur and micro elements like copper, zinc, iron and also molybdenum. So, these are the minerals we are giving to the plants mainly. Okay. So, these are the micro elements, these are the macro elements. Got it, students? It is visible, right? Yes. Now see the next very most important topic that everyone should know. From this, the chapter is very important, students. See, the next one is nitrogen cycle. Metabolism of nitrogen. What is meant by metabolism? We all know that chemical reactions happening. So, how these nitrogen is important for us and plants too. So, you know that the nitrogen present in the atmosphere almost 78%. Almost 78% in the atmosphere. But we plants, animals don't have that mechanism to fix it. But how come we are how come we are producing the proteins, amino acids and nucleic acids, nothing but DNA, RNA? How come we are producing? Which means we are taking the nitrogen indirectly. In what forms we are taking, that we will know in this nitrogen cycle. So, as the nitrogen is inert, which means it will be it will be present in a N triple bond N. In that condition it will be present. It is very hard to break this triple bond. Okay, that is why we don't have that mechanism. Plants also don't have that mechanism. So mostly prevalent, but it is very important for every living organism. Apart from the carbon, hydrogen and oxygen, we also need nitrogen for sure. But how come we are getting, right? So how these nitrogen we are getting, how the plants are getting, that we'll know in this session. Let's see. First, so for these nitrogens, cycle, there is involvement of 4 steps mainly. First one is nitrogen fixation. Nitrogen fixation. So in the nitrogen fixation, students, as it is occurs by the naturally also, and it is occurs by the biological fixation also. Biological fixation happens through plants by the symbiotic association. Got it? Now see further nitrogen fixation. What is meant by nitrogen fixation? The word itself saying the fixing of nitrogen, right? So nitrogen is fixing in the forms of ammonia and ammonium. Ammonia and ammonium. Here see so naturally by lightning also the nitrogen fixation is happening. So see, when when this high lightning thunderstorms will become, so that lightning will be having the high temperatures. So this high temperature lightning will be let the rainwater, it will be when it's having high temperature, this nitrogen combines with oxygen and forms the nitric oxides. So when this nitric oxide combines with rainwater, it will form the dilute rainwater. This dilute rainwater, when they are falling on the alkaline substances which are having the very chemical in nature, they form the limestones. So this is how the naturally the fixation of the nitrogen is happening, and through the Haber's process, industrial process, so it is happening. But mainly in this corner of we are learning about how the fixation is happening through biologically, and also how the cycle is happening. So see here the first nitrogen fixation is happening. The nitrogen is going to convert the ammonia and ammonium, right? Ammonia and ammonium. And next first step is nitrogen fixation. Next step is nitrification. So before the nitrification, ammonification is also will be there, students. What is meant by ammonification? So when there is a dead plants, animals, so when these plants and also animals die, what will happen? They are also having some nitrogen content, right? So that again gives rise to the ammonium components, right? And this again, the third step is nitrification. Third step is nitrification. In this nitrification, whatever the compounds of these ammonia and ammonium compounds, that will be turning into, that will be turned into utilized forms like nitrites and nitrates. So it is going to convert in these forms. In these forms only plants can absorb nitrogen, and they can fix and forms the ammonium, ammonium acids, proteins, nucleic acids and all that. Got it? So we are, as the first I said what to you students, so there is a 78% of nitrogen present in the atmosphere, right? So which means how it is stable. So which means in the nitrogen cycle, again whatever the nitrogen fixation is happening through the process of series of steps, again the nitrogen get back to the atmosphere. That is why the stable, it is stable. It is present in the 78% only. Got it? Now see, which means the getting back of nitrogen again into the atmosphere is denitrification. Denitrification. So again the nitrogen is getting back to the atmosphere. Getting back to the atmosphere. Got it? This process is denitrification. What are the process, students? One is nitrogen fixation. One is nitrogen fixation. Next one is ammonification. Ammonification. Next one is nitrification. Last one is denitrification. Yes, right? Denitrification. So this is how the atmosphere is stabilizing by this process, and we are also getting the nitrogen. So see the first process, nitrogen fixation. So let's see this, students. In the first step, there are the 4 steps are involved. The process of conversion of nitrogen to ammonia is nitrogen fixation. That is nitrogen fixation. The conversion of nitrogen to ammonia, that process is nitrogen fixation. Next, decomposition of organic nitrogen from dead plants and animals. What is organic substance, students? Which means the protein makeup, amino acids makeup we have in our body, right? So that whatever the body made things, that will be decomposed, which means the organic nitrogen from the dead body, plants and animals, it will be decomposed and forms the ammonia. That process we call it as ammonification, which means whatever the nitrogen content is present in our body and it is transferred to ammonia, that is called ammonification. So what is the examples of this? Which bacteria is going to help this conversion of organic nitrogen from dead plants to animals into ammonia is, see, here is the beta vulgaris, actinomycetes, bacillus racemose. Bacillus racemose. Here I am writing bacillus racemose, beta vulgaris. This bacteria is helping to convert the organic nitrogen from plants and animals to the into ammonia. It is turning that. So actinomycetes. Actinomycetes. These are the bacteria which helps in converting the organic nitrogen into ammonia. Got it? Now the third step, nitrification. So here is the conversion of ammonia into, which means oxidizing, which means which make its ammonia into utilizable forms like nitrate, nitrates, nitrites, nitrates and nitrites. That process is called nitrification. That process is called, students, nitrification. So this also happens. This ammonia is converted into nitrates and nitrates by the nitrifying bacteria. Those bacteria we call it as nitrifying bacteria. They are also called as chemoautotrophs. What is the chemoautotroph, students? They are the bacteria, they survive by the chemicals, based on the chemicals, using the chemicals as their energy. Chemoautotrophs are the bacteria using the chemicals as their energy, right? So these nitrifying bacteria are chemoautotrophs, which means they are using the chemicals as their energy. Got it? So coming to the last one, denitrification. What is, students? That is denitrification. So denitrification is whatever the nitrites and nitrates that are reduced, again get back into the atmosphere, is in the form of nitrogen, That process is called denitrification. Again the nitrogen is get back into the atmosphere, right? So which bacteria is going to help to convert nitrites and nitrates into nitrogen forms, students? That is Pseudomonas and Theobacillus. Got it? So this is how the nitrogen is happening in the atmosphere, how it is getting back to the atmosphere. Now see the process, step 1 and step 2, step 3 and step 4 in a clear way. First step is nitrogen fixation, right? It happens by the lightning, by ultraviolet radiation. I also said when the heavy lightning is happening during the rainy season, what will happen? The nitrogen reacts with oxygen and forms the nitric oxide. So it combines with the rain and forms the dilute rainwater, and when it is dropping onto the alkaline substance, which are chemical substance, again they are forming the limestones. They are having the structural formation of nitric oxides that will be absorbed by the plants. The plants mainly take the forms of nitrates and nitrites. So then the assimilation is happening. What is meant by assimilation? Nothing but incorporating. It is happening by the natural process like this, okay, and then by biologically is also happening. That we learn in the further. First see this. So enough energy, it's forming the nitric oxides like nitric oxide. These forms it is converting in the naturally. And also some industrial combustions, forest fires, automobiles, exhaust power generation, also the nitrogen is happening and it is there getting into the conversion of nitric oxides. These will be absorbed by the soil, through soil again plants. So plants are assimilating the nitrogen. This is one form, and also biologically by the plants is happening. Okay, that will be learned. So see the next process, that is ammonification. So ammonification is very when the plants and animals they'll die, what will happen? The decomposition is happening by the bacteria. What are the examples of that bacteria, students? Bacillus racemose, beta vulgaris, actinomycetes. These are the bacteria which helps the dead plants and animals and makes their nitrogen components into conversion of into ammonia. Got it? So after that second process, the third process, nitrification. That third process, students, nitrification. See, I will explain this. Before that, see this. See nitrification. Whatever the ammonia, from the ammonification, the ammonia what is formed, it will be combined with the oxygen in the presence of the bacteria like Nitrosomonas and Nitrococcus. These are the bacteria names which converts the ammonia into nitrites. These are the nitrites. Again these nitrates again with the combines with oxygen in the presence of nitrobacter. Nitrobacter, they are going to convert the nitrates. By these useful forms of nitrites and nitrates, it will be absorbed by the plants. The bacteria involved in the ammonia to conversion of nitrites is Nitrosococcus nitrosomonas, and nitrites into nitrates. That bacteria is Nitrobacteria, Penicillium, Aspergillus flavus, Nitrosocyst. That bacteria is Nitrobacter. Got it? Now see the fourth step, denitrification. Again, whatever these nitrates, these nitrites and nitrates will be absorbed by the soil, from the plants, and it will be used in their preparation of ammonia acids, proteins, and will help in their makeup of nucleic acids and DNA and RNA, right? So now see the last process, denitrification. So whichever the plants can fix, they will fix, they will fix it. Remaining will be present in the soil only, right? So that nitrates and nitrates will be in the soil only, right? These nitrates and nitrates, what will happen? These nitrates and nitrites, what will happen? They will be get back into the atmosphere by the bacteria name called Pseudomonas Theobacillus micrococcus. By these bacteria, again this nitrates converting into nitrogen and getting back to the atmosphere. That is why the cycle is happening. So where the nitrogen is started, again get back to that place. That is why it is a nitrogen cycle. Right? Got it, students? That bacteria, Pseudomonas Theobacillus micrococcus, are the denitrifying bacteria. It is very, very important, students. They will raise the questions like how when ammonia is getting converted into the nitrites, which bacteria are involving? They are Nitrosococcus, Nitrosomonas. When these nitrates converting into nitrates, which bacteria involving in that? That is Nitrobacter, Penicillium, Aspergillus flavus, Nitrocyst. Got it? That you have to be keep in mind for sure. They'll also ask for the denitrification process, these nitrates or nitrites getting back to the nitrogen form by which bacteria is involving there. That is Pseudomonas Theobacillus micrococcus. Got it, students? So this is very, very important, students, for your MCET point of view. Every examples have to be remembered as per your the MCET point of view. Got it? So tomorrow let's see the biological nitrogen fixation. And for you IPE board students, so here the nodule formation question is very important for you. So we'll explain that question, and one more important question is there, we'll discuss in the tomorrow session. So I hope you all are clear about this topic, students. If you have any doubts, please let me know. So I will wind up the class today, students. So this is about the today's class, students. Don't forget. So examples are very important, and let's just revise once again the topic. So this is the NCERT notes I prepared, students. If you want, I'll drop in the Telegram channel also. So you can use that notes also. So before I'm winding up the class, students, I would like to remind you once again. So we are started the NEET special program for just rupees 3,333 per month. For who are aspiring, who are dreaming, want to become a doctor, this is the best platform for you, students, because we are offering for very low price of 3,333 per month. If you are really determined person, if you see our lectures as per your convenience, whether you can join live or recording sessions, you can go through that. If you do those every day listening the classes and doing our well crafted study material, it's far more enough to secure a very good rank in your upcoming examination for sure. So it is mostly helpful for the who are 11th and 12th standard students, because to take the coaching parallelly by doing your IPE boards is very smart preparation. You will get thorough with the preparation, so you will get very good rank in upcoming examination. For those who are 12th completed students also, it is very best offer, because we are offering just rupees 3,300 per 33 per month. As per your convenience, you can join offline as well as online. If you want to join online students, you can contact by this number. If you want to join offline, you can come to our institute name called NEET World, present in Narayani, Hyderabad. So if you have any queries, please let me know in the comment section. I will get back to you. And don't forget to join in our Telegram channel also, students. Here we are dropping our handwritten notes and digitalized printed materials also, so you can go through freely. Got it? And also whatever you have doubts, you can post it right there. So it will help to your doubt clearing sessions also happen. So by concerned lecturer will clear you all your doubts. So don't forget to join our Telegram group also, as you are preparing for the competitive examination. Doing mocks is very important, as we are every day we are dropping the biology, chemistry, physics and also mathematics mock bits, so it is easy to crack your examination. It might help to your examination. Got it? So this is about our today's session, students. So let me back tomorrow. Thank you.